Xbox has officially raised the price of its consoles in the US starting October because apparently your wallet hasn't been through enough abuse in 2025. Forget groceries, forget rent, forget therapy. Now the box you used to rage at Call of Duty wants a bigger slice of your paycheck. And what's Microsoft's excuse?
Macroeconomic pressures.
Which is the corporate equivalent of shrugging and saying,
Don't blame us, blame the economy.
and in fairness, there is some truth. Between tariffs, inflation, and supply chain drama, costs are piling up like Steam games you'll never play. But knowing that doesn't make it sting any less. And the insult cherry on top, this is the second price increase this year alone. First in May, now again in October. At this rate, the next exclusive Xbox feature might be a payment plan that includes selling your kidney on eBay. Here is where things get juicy, that tariffs. Earlier this year, President Trump dropped new tariffs on imports from China because nothing says
Make America great again.
like making your electronics cost as much as a small freaking car. And since Xbox consoles are basically Frankenstein's monster of Chinese-made parts, chips, circuits, storage, guess who gets slapped with the bill? Oh, you thought Microsoft?
Oh, no, you.
These tariffs weren't just a nudge either, they were a full-blown financial sucker punch. Trump pitched them as a way to protect American manufacturing, but the reality is that consoles don't magically appear out of bald eagles and apple pie. They're global products, and tariffs just turn the supply chain into an expensive game of cabbage and carrots. So, when Microsoft says
Macroeconomic environment.
what they really mean is Trump threw a grenade into the electronics market and now Xbox is handing you the shrapnel. Congratulations, you're officially subsidizing trade wars one overpriced controller at a time. Now let's be fair just a little bit. Microsoft isn't twirling its mustache like some cartoon villain while plotting how to rob your wallet. They're juggling rising costs like a clown at a funeral. Components cost more, shipping costs more, and thanks to tariffs, importing anything feels like buying contraband at airport prices. Eventually, that math hits consumers whether they like it or not. But here is the awkward part. Microsoft isn't exactly broke. This is one of the richest companies in the world. Their CEO could probably buy everyone in the US an Xbox and still afford to bribe Skyrim into being released again. So, when they say, we just had to raise prices, it's not hard to squint at the Scrooge McDuck money bin and wonder,
If they really had to.
that's the tension here. Are they victims of the economy or opportunists padding profits under the excuse of
Macroeconomic pressures.
the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Yes, we cannot deny that tariffs hurt, but let's not pretend Microsoft can't absorb a few punches without passing the bruises straight onto gamers. Now let's be real for a second here, guys. This October price hike wouldn't sting so much if we hadn't already been through the same circus earlier this year. The first increase hit in May and gamers
Grumbled but swallowed it.
figuring it was a one-time adjustment. Now it's deja vu with a middle finger attached. Two hikes in 1 year makes it feel less like a macroeconomic emergency and more like a subscription model, except instead of new features, you're just paying more for the same freaking box. Imagine Netflix raising prices twice in 12 months and then still auto-playing Riverdale reruns you never asked for. That's the vibe here. It's not just about the dollars, it's about the principle. Gamers
I'm so proud of you guys.
are patient, but patience has limits. Nobody wants to feel like their loyalty is being made harder than a Halo re-release. Now when you say tariffs, it sounds abstract, like some boring line item on a government spreadsheet, but they're basically stealth assassins for your bank account. You, as a consumer, don't see them. You just feel their effects when the checkout price makes your soul leave your freaking body. Here is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Xbox parts get slapped with a tariff on import. Manufacturers pass that cost to Microsoft. Microsoft passes it to you. By the time the console reaches your living room, it's carrying a hidden surcharge. Kind of like when airlines charge you for water, bags,
And breathing oxygen.
so, while it's easy to just scream
Microsoft is freaking greedy.
on Twitter, the reality is uglier. Tariffs are the middleman in this scam, silently siphoning cash from your wallet while politicians get to say they're
Protecting American jobs. Spoiler, you're not getting a job out of this, just a more expensive Xbox.
Now let's take a second and zoom out a bit. Gamers in the US aren't exactly thriving financially right now. Rent is up. Food is up, even energy drinks are creeping toward high prices a can, and in walks Xbox announcing its second price hike like it's the guest of honor at your bankruptcy hearing. Gaming used to be the affordable escape. Buy a console, grab some snacks, and lose yourself for the weekend. Now, it feels like a luxury hobby, as if gamers should also apply for a mortgage when buying a new controller. Especially for younger players, this isn't just an annoyance, it's a barrier to even join the gaming ecosystem. And while Microsoft blames tariffs, the end result is the same. Gamers are squeezed, and when people feel squeezed, they cut corners. They skip the console, they delay upgrading, or they quietly drift to other platforms. That's how you turn loyal customers into Steam Deck converts. Now, Xbox isn't alone in feeling the pain of tariffs and production costs. Back in August 2025, Sony quietly nudged up PS5 prices across the board, $50 more for standard, digital, and pro models. So now, both major consoles are playing the same
Sorry, your wallet is next.
game, making the US console market feel less like a competition and more like a synchronized swimming routine.
In your bank account.
Gamers notice this immediately. Xbox raising prices twice in a year might sting less when the PS5 is also hiking, but it doesn't magically make it painless. The competition angle now isn't about undercutting. Both are just racing to see who can survive inflation, tariffs, and supply chain chaos without triggering a gamer riot first. And Microsoft's ace, Game Pass, still gives them some leverage. But with Sony also adjusting prices, it's now a delicate balancing act. Keep gamers loyal, avoid sticker shock, and hope that both consoles don't end up as premium pain choices for everyone. It's the console wars in 2025. Slightly more expensive, slightly more ruthless, and just as brutal to wallets. And we can't ignore the politics here. President Trump announced these tariffs with his usual flair, framing it as a patriotic move to punish China and boost American manufacturing. The press conferences were full of chest-thumping promises of fair trade and sound bites designed to campaign rallies. But here is the messy truth. Consoles aren't being mass-produced in the US. Tariffs don't just magically teleport factories to Ohio. What they actually do is raise the price of goods for consumers while politicians claim a win. It's less 4D chess and more like charging you extra to play checkers. Gamers are now stuck in the crossfire of this trade war theater. You didn't vote for tariffs when you pre-ordered your Xbox, but congratulations! You're now funding economic policy every time you boot up Halo. Now, let's pull the sarcasm back for just a second. The reality is that making consoles in 2025 genuinely is more expensive than it was a few years ago. As I've mentioned, inflation, supply chain hangovers from the pandemic, and tariffs piled together into a perfect storm. Microsoft isn't lying when they are reacting to forces outside their control. But here is the part gamers struggle with. Even when circumstances are real, the pain is still personal. It doesn't matter if tariffs or inflation are the villains. Gamers see Xbox raising prices and feel betrayed. Understanding the why doesn't make the ouch go away. So yes, there is sympathy here, but sympathy doesn't pay for the console. At the end of the day, the consumer is left choosing between swallowing the hike or abandoning the ecosystem. And that's a rough spot to be put in. And guys, it's not just the consoles. Every controller, headset, and charging dock suddenly comes with a tariff tax attached. Want an extra elite controller? Now that's a mini mortgage. Thinking about a new headset to scream at your teammates without bothering the neighbors? Prepare to fork over even more. Even Microsoft's accessories are like DLC for your sanity. The base cost is one thing, but tariffs and manufacturing expenses sneakily make every purchase like you're buying an investment. Gamers joke a lot about selling organs to afford peripherals, but at this point it doesn't feel that far off. Buying gaming gear in 2025 is like shopping in a survival horror game. The deeper you go, the higher the risk of permanent wallet damage. And just when you think you've embraced for impact, surprise surprise, limited edition controllers now cost more than some AAA games, because why stop at consoles when you can make every part of the ecosystem
Bleed your bank account too.
And just when you thought tariffs were the only villain, enter the supply chain chaos. Shipping delays, component shortages, and factory hiccups turn Xbox production into a real-life drama series. Every console is basically a cameo in the ongoing saga of
Will it arrive on time or will your pre-order get ghosted?
even when Microsoft builds enough consoles, logistics loves to play spoiler. Ports get jammed, warehouses overflow, and suddenly a console you pre-ordered months ago
Is still stuck in some container floating off the coast of China.
Tariffs are just the plot twist. The real tension is watching your shipping tracker like it's an episode of 24. Gamers are unfortunately left juggling hope and frustration. The console arrives, yes, but maybe a week late, and now the price hike feels even sharper because you are already counting every freaking dollar. It's the perfect freaking storm. Politics, economics, and logistics conspiring to remind us that even digital escapism has a very, very expensive human bottleneck. So the question is, where is Xbox left from here? The price hike is a gamble. Microsoft is betting that loyalty, Game Pass, and ecosystem lock-in will outweigh gamer frustration. And they're probably right. Plenty of people will pay up because Halo, Forza, and Game Pass are just too good to walk away from. But the others, they'll see this as the moment to jump ship or at least pause before upgrading. The thing is, if you choose to upgrade to a PlayStation, you're still risking the same thing. They are both becoming premium options nobody asked for. At the end of the day, the tariff drama and macroeconomic excuses won't be remembered. What gamers will remember is how it felt to be treated, whether Xbox respected their wallets or wrung them dry. And if Microsoft isn't careful, this whole saga will be less about trade wars and more about a brand shooting itself in the foot.
Twice.
So the real question remains, what do you guys think? Are these tariff-fueled increases fair, or is Microsoft just taking advantage of the chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Rant, roast, or reasoned analysis. I want to see it all. Did you pre-order before the hike, or are you waiting it out like a cautious adventurer? And don't hold back. Your wallet might be hurting, but your opinions are still free.
So far.
And guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content in the future. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.